Hello, my name is Brandon Vannatter, and today I'm going to speak to you about the dangers of bentonite-based clay cat litters. Many people in America, and indeed the world, have cats or are cat lovers, and with cat ownership comes litter duty. According to Stanford University's Eco-Advice, more than 75% of cat litters on the market today are made from bentonite clay. These litters are not only bad for the environment, but bad for you and your cat as well, and can make your cat sick and even kill them. Newer cat litters such as paper, pine, and wheat husk are both safer, cleaner, and altogether better for the environment when compared to bentonite clay. I myself have been a cat owner for over 25 years. I have one of my own cats become very sick due to respiratory inhalation and indigestion of bentonite clay. As a result, I have experimented with many different litters and on each of my cats to see how they respond. First, I am going to tell a brief history of the origin of modern cat litter, then go over the negative health effects of bentonite clay on cats and the environment, and lastly, suggest some alternate litters that one can use instead. In 1947, Edward Lowe began marketing Fuller's Earth, a type of clay, to housewives under the name of kitty litter. Then in the 1960s, Lowe created a new line with odor control known as Tidy Cat. Then, in 1984, a biochemist and professor of medicine at Houston's Baylor College named Thomas Nelson discovered that bentonite clay was much more effective and had a clumping property that allows fecal matter to be scooped out more easily than had ever been before. And by the 90s, bentonite clay litters controlled over half of the litter market. Now that I've explained some of the origins of bentonite clay cat litters, I want to speak on the negative health effects that these litters have on us and our pets. Many people have been told that you can't flush your cat litter down the toilet. This is because bentonite clay is capable of absorbing roughly 16 times its own size in water, and when put into a system with a large amount of moisture, it will expand and swell and fill up those pipes until nothing can get through. Unfortunately, this same thing can happen to your cat. Cats are known to groom themselves, and as they lick themselves, they remove material that have attached themselves to their fur. Clay being sticky in its own way, the dust tends to adhere to their coats, and they tend to ingest it as they're cleaning themselves. This buildup can build up in their bodies and cause this blockage of nutrients, and eventually gastrointestinal obstruction, which can lead to severe health problems and even death. And this isn't the only problem that we have with clay cat litters. And the dust that comes off of bentonite cat litter also contains large amounts of particles that can cause breathing issues in both pets and humans. One of these particulates is known as crystalline silica. According to the National Cancer Institute, crystalline silica is associated with elevated rates of lung cancer in humans. Yet another problem with bentonite clay litters is that they tend to stick to the paws of cats, and then they're tracked around their living space, along with whatever fecal material and bacteria that are attached to it. Many people do not know this, but there is a common parasite named toxoplasmosis that is very common in many cats' fecal matter. And because of that, the more it's spread, the more danger we are in to being exposed to that parasite. It's not just the health of our pets, though, and ourselves that we should be concerned about when discussing bentonite clay litters. We also have to look at the environmental impact of bentonite clay-based litters. Bentonite clay is procured through strip mining, a highly controversial process with long-term environmental implications. In fact, according to a U.S. Geological Survey, approximately 25% of all the clay mined in 2005 was strip-mined bentonite clay. As if the procurement of bentonite clay wasn't damaging enough, even more worrisome is disposing of it. Clay and silica do not break down at disposal sites. According to Judd H. Alexander in The Defense of Garbage, over 2 million tons of cat litter ends up in our landfills each year, and that's just in America alone. Now that we understand all these issues, let's speak of some solutions. If not clay, what can we use? Thankfully, there are other options in today's society instead of just using bentonite clay litters. Many retailers and litter manufacturers now sell other materials such as wood, paper, or walnut shells. They are specifically processed for use as litters. I myself use a product known as Sweet Scoop, a wheat chaff-based cat litter that is highly absorbent, clumping, and prevents it from being tracked around the house. Many of these materials are sustainably sourced, can still clump, have decent or better odor control, and are biodegradable. The only downside is that non-clay litters tend to be slightly more expensive, but an extra $5 to $10 a month on cat litter is far better than $300 or $400 for a vet visit. So, to recap, bentonite clay litter is obtained by destroying the usability and natural beauty of the Earth's surface. It can harm us and our pets while they're in use, and then it becomes a waste that can't truly be gotten rid of once it's done with. Truly, there are issues at each step of this process. Thankfully, there are natural options on the market today that we can obtain without having to worry. I hope I've convinced some of you today, if not all of you, to start using non-clay-based litters for your pet. If you don't like the one product, try a different one. There's plenty of non-clay options out there. It's truly a crappy issue, but one that we can easily change. Thank you.